Hi, Angie. Hi, Shalina. Hi, Dolly, who's on holiday.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Are you
How
all
are you
right?
all? Yeah, good. How is
The sun's
everybody?
come out. I'm lovely. The sun's come out. It's great.
It's very warm. I wouldn't say it's necessarily sunny here, but it is warm.
Right. If you're in the sunlight, it's nice and warm. As soon as you step into the shade, it's cold.
Yeah, it can do that, definitely. I'm just doing all my bits and pieces. So let me just type that in there.
Have a good one. I'm going to mute myself.
Okie dokie. See you on the other side.
See you on the other side.
Okay, let me just check that we're streaming everywhere. Are we streaming everywhere? Let's have a look. What's it doing? Here we go. Destinations. Here we go. Streaming everywhere. Okay. Breathe, everybody. So I'm going to so this, just quickly before I start, I won't just launch into it. This, I'm calling it a new declaration of everything. I know that sounds very bold, but we got to be bold, have we not? As Desiree once said back in the 90s, I think that was. So this has come about via a series of events that happened this past week. And it's part of the synchronistic journey, really. And where we kind of ended up was, even when we were just talking about this, we had the most extreme reactions from the I call them the remnants of the dark realm, the dense realms, sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk through this. I'm going to say the declaration, first of all, and then I'm going to talk through it and kind of go through and explain what these things mean. Because to me, it makes perfect sense. But to someone else who's not in my head, you might go, what the does that mean? So here we go. I am an ambassador of the void. I am we. We revoke our consent to you existing here, remnants of the dense realms. Your jurisdiction is cancelled. Leave now. We are an ascended body in the inner and outer worlds. Everything unfolds perfectly with zero resistance because we are reverence. We are the happy-go-lucky flow of pure love, consciousness, energy, abundance. We are creators, circulating this energy in and out. Energy expanding with love consciousness, our expansive, miraculous lifestyles which we love, using the tools received in the expanding, circulating energy. These tools we keep, give, spend, and circulate joyfully. So, I'll just let that sink in for a second. So, I mean, mantra and affirmations and all those kinds of things are their second nature now. Since I began my yoga practice, I was very much into the mantra and using a mala and all those things that aren't necessarily what people would say are yoga. If you're on this channel, I'm guessing that you know that yoga is more than just asana. So it's always been, and we use them in our magic work. We use them to flip your mindset. So there's many different ways to use mantra, affirmations, and like I say, this is more of a declaration. It's not a mantra, it's not an affirmation as such. It's a realization, a declaration of who we are truly, why we're here, and where we're going. So just breaking it down a bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm aiming to leave a good 20 minutes at the end to answer any questions, because I know people probably got lots of questions, hopefully. So the I am. So a lot of people talk about the I am being the pinnacle of that whole idea of who we are. But in actual fact, if you are looking at who we are from a multi-dimensional, multi-universal kind of cosmic perspective, then you're not an I, you're a we. And it's really funny. when I was kind of playing with this, it's like, oh God, I sound like we are Borg. It's like, no, you're not Borg, Ange. Well, not yet anyway. Never, in fact. So this idea of the I am is kind of, because we've been talking about this, this particular thing for about a week now, and I was using a like an affirmation. I don't know if any of you have heard of Brian Scott. He's another transurfer. I know there's a lady talking about transurfing the other day. So we love Rennie Garcia, and Brian Scott he's such a lovely guy, and he does so much stuff on his YouTube channel. It's amazing. I don't know where he gets the time, to be quite frank. So I was doing one of his mantras around one of my biggest demons, which is money. And it didn't feel right. And I kept getting this very strong, very clear message. This is not the perspective, the perception of a being who is a creator, who is a multi-dimensional, multi-universal being. So I'm like, okay, what do I do then? So I sat there, and this thing wrote itself, and I'm like, okay, so I'll use that then. So I was using that, and then so that was good. The rewrite was good, but then we were looking at some transurfing stuff, and it wasn't really getting to the bottom of it. So we left it for a day, and then the following morning Ian got up early, and he said, I've written some notes. I'm like, okay. And what came out of those notes was this idea of we are a we're not an I. And also this idea of revoking, our consent, because we are, as we know from the stuff that's happened over, over the past 3 or 4 years, it's like, if you don't consent, it goes away. It literally melts in the distance, if you get my meaning, if you get what I'm saying. So I rewrote it again, because these things are always evolving and they're changing as we learn more, as we tap into who we truly are even more. These things expand and they grow and they evolve, and I have no doubt that this bit of paper that this is written on will become null and void very soon. But I'm okay with that. That's good. That's not a bad thing. So the idea of an ambassador is someone who I suppose, speaks on behalf of a collection of people. So if we are not Borg, if we are, these amazing creative beings, then we are speaking on behalf of the thing that created us, where we came from, which is the void. Everything comes from that place, that the quantum space, the space where every and any possibility resides. That's the void space, as we see it anyway. So that's the idea behind that initial statement. I am an ambassador of the void. And then the I am we, obviously, I've kind of said that. So that's the declaration that we are a collective unity consciousness, however you want to say that. But it's that idea that we are not really this individuated being walking around in a skin suit, for want of a better word. So yes, we revoke our consent to you existing here, remnants of the dense realms. Okay, so we're basically telling them to get a taxi. How do I know they're remnants? So back in 2020, early 2020, before it all kicked off, I was doing a greater banishing and super manifestation ritual. Don't blame me, it wasn't my fault. And when it all kicked off, there was a friend of mine who I think she's still living in America. I don't know. They kind of went off grid, and we haven't heard from her since. I said to her, we want to do this for what we call the con. And so we did. And in that ritual, it's a 2-hour ritual, and it's a physical ritual. It doesn't stop moving, the whole thing. It doesn't stop moving. And one of the things that we did is we called on, let me get this right, the Blueprinter originators, the Blue Star Rigel, which is all about light and this ascension energy that we're in. We also called on Mother Earth, just to make sure it was all right with her that we did it. And what we basically asked, I think there was another entity that we called in as well, but I can't remember who that was. But basically what we asked is for these people pulling the strings were taken off the planet because they don't belong here. They're not of this realm. They're of the way I see this, they're of a realm. So they snuck in. There's a Laurie Ladd has an amazing video explaining how that all happened. If I can find it, I'll post it in the group. Let me just write that down so I don't forget. Laurie Ladd video, because it explains it really well how these beings were able to come in here. So yeah, because they are of a dense realm, and this planet originally was of a much higher dimensional existence. So because they are not from this realm, they, as the light increases, which is what's happening, we can see that, we can witness that, nature is telling us that, and we are experiencing that, which can be really challenging. So as this light increases, they are being, it's like they're being sucked back into their own realm, which is what we asked for in 2020. And in 2021, I got a very clear message, which was they are gone now. I'm like, okay, what's next? So this idea that there might be, the puppets left, but their strings have been cut, basically. So what we have left are remnants of those original entities, which could be, they have all kinds of names for them. So I call them remnants of the dense realms, because that's what they are. And because they didn't have jurisdiction here in the first place, they snuck in under the radar, which isn't really giving consent, but for eons we've kind of tolerated them, I would say, and no more, because we are now in this energy of the expansion of consciousness, or ascension, or however you want to describe that. So they've gone, and so are the remnants. And what was really interesting, so before I even recorded this, because what I've done is I've created, I'm not sure if it's up on SoundCloud yet, but it's due to go live on YouTube at 7 o'clock. So what I've done is I've recorded it. I've added some really nice 432 frequencies, singing bowls, crystal singing bowls. And I've even modulated my voice to 432. And put like a little video escape in there. So that is actually going live at 7 o'clock on my YouTube channel, which is Everything is Magic 360. Where was I going with that? Bloop, 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 bloop. Yeah, so even before I recorded this, so this was just after myself and Ian had been talking about it, and I'd written it down. We were going out to take the dog out for a walk, and there's this guy and his mate sitting outside, like trying to be a gangster, smoking his vape. He wasn't. He didn't look the most healthy of the people either, I have to say. And basically threatened us. For what reason, we still don't know. It's kind of random. Never seen this guy before. Never seen the car before. Very random incident. So anyway, long story short, they scarpered when I called the police. So what we realised is this declaration is obviously very powerful if it's going to elicit a reaction from a remnant. So that was a really nice piece of confirmation, if you like, that this is poking the remnants. So on we go. So we are an ascended body. So if you look at it, if your perspective is we are already ascended, then embodying that is, it's this idea of, and I think a lot of you on this channel have talked about this, we already were. We just had lots of stuff, this what I call an overlay of fear and pain and doubt, that was kind of stifling that self-realization. So if you suspend that overlay, so suspend the fear and the pain and the doubt, then we can fully embrace this idea of being a very powerful being. But if you're aligning with love consciousness, it's not a being that's going to use that power like the remnants do, if you get my meaning. The inner and outer worlds. So this is our inner world, so the light being, or the light which makes up the overlay of this physical body. So one of the things that today, when I was doing some healing on Ian with tuning forks, what I realized, because we have so many tuning forks for different things, but one of the collections we have are called human. Oh, what are they called? Human. Oh God, no, it's gone. But they're basically human tuning something. But they basically retune the different aspects of your body, from anything from the skin to the lungs, all the different parts of the body. So what I realized today when I was doing this tuning fork healing on Ian is all these different frequencies that make up what we call the parts of the body, like lungs and brain and eyes and things like that. They have been I can't think of the word, untuned or not tuned to the frequency that actually gets this, your being in a place of wholeness, if that makes sense. So for your physical being to operate in a flow state, if you like, so then you are the flow state, all these different frequencies need to be retuned, restored, yeah, so that they all work in harmony together. So they work harmonically together, and then, I mean, who knows? Who knows what is going to happen when our whole being is completely restored to its proper tuning? I mean, I have an idea, but we'll have to wait and see until we get there. So yeah, that's the inner world. So the outer world is then, a reflection, is a mirror, if you like. Or the ripple back, when you drop a pebble, the ripples back then bring back to you the frequency that you put out. That's basic physics, really. But everything unfolds perfectly with zero resistance. Oh, now that's that's an interesting one. So the unfolding synchromistic path. So as we take action according to the great big illuminated signposts on the illuminated path, we get that. So you take an action, and it's, the question is then, what next? It's the Celestine prophecy. What next? What next? So you do the action, what next? You take that action, what next? So you're always remaining open to the infinite possibilities that will come back on that wave. Zero resistance. Oh. As someone who used to resist every single thing that came my way, this is a really interesting idea. But what I will say is, the more you resist something and hold, so resistance means that you're holding on to something and you can't let it go. So what does that do? If you're putting out that wave of, I'm not letting go of this, then what's it going to do? It's going to ripple back to you with more of that stuff. And yeah, that was quite a big plop for me. It's like, okay, Ange, need to let go of that stuff, really? More stuff to let go of. Yes, more stuff to let go of. So that saying, what you resist persists, I completely get that now. I got it before, but not really, if that makes sense. So, you know, let it leave. Let it leave, because who knows what is going to come in if you let that thing go. If you're aligned with love consciousness, 432 hertz, whatever you want to call that, it's only going to bring in more stuff that is aligned to 432 hertz. Unless of course you're poking the remnants, and then you'll see some interesting stuff. Right, reverence. Oh yes. So for us, the word reverence has a lot more weight to it than the word gratitude. It's a really strange thing. I don't know if it's an English thing. You know, I don't have very positive associations with the word gratitude, because I was, you know, it's like when we were kids, be grateful for what you got on your plate. Yeah, but it's disgusting. I'm not supposed to eat that. Be grateful for that. It's on your plate. But it smells funny and I don't want to eat it. You know, this idea of be grateful for what you've got. I don't know. Maybe we're slightly odd like that, but I'm, you know, when it comes to being thankful for, you know, the things that you experience in your reality, some of those things, maybe we need to question a little bit. You know, this idea of, you know, there's always going to be, you know, but people say things like, you can't be happy all the time. Really? Are you sure about that? Well, in your natural frequency, it actually feels, when you are in a, what's the word I use? Happy and content. It almost feels like a flat line, because there's no up and down. It's really, really interesting how that manifests. It's like a flat line of happy and content. I don't know if you guys experience that. I don't know. So yeah, this idea of reverence is a bit like the namaste for us. So reverence has a lot more, I don't know, it seems to embody more like honor and respect and love than gratitude. Like I say, I don't know if that's an English thing, or maybe it's just an Angie and Ian thing. I don't know. And the happy-go-lucky flow. So that's the, you know, if you're a being of an interdimensional creator being of light, I don't know, happy-go-lucky just seems to fit the bill of that. If you've ever watched any sci-fi where you have beings that go from being solid to just light, and kind of disappear as neutrinos, it's like that. I'd say that's happy-go-lucky. That's not density. That's not hate. That's not guilt or shame, fear. That's pure happy-go-lucky. And it's kind of my mantra, actually, happy-go-lucky. So the nature, it's also the nature of nature. I mean, you know, nature's not all, but is it? You know, you could say, well, you know, nature does things like, you know, things die. Well, yeah, but I wouldn't say that's not happy-go-lucky, because nature, you know, when something grows in nature, and opens out and offers, the scent of flowers or offers fruit. It's not snatching it away from people. Go, oh no, you can't have that. It's constantly open, expansive, which is kind of happy-go-lucky. Keeps coming back to that. So, as we are nature, we are love consciousness. Our true vibration is that of love consciousness, 432, however you want to describe that. And it's a very expansive energy. It's dancing light energy, if you like. So that is kind of all summed up for us in that word reverence. It is very, it's got weight, but not heavyweight, lightweight. That makes sense. I do hope I'm making sense. So, creators, as a sentient creator being, you are the powerhouse. You are the powerhouse. Nothing outside you is that, because you are the creator. The energy comes through you from the earth, from Father Sky, comes through you, and you create. Whatever it is that you create, it's creative. Even, as a little side note, even, let me get this right. Hang on, let me find a piece of paper here. I'm going to talk about Discordia for 5 seconds. So Discordia, also known as Iris in Greek mythology, she is the creative order and disorder. So that is the order and the creation that comes out of chaos. There is also the opposite, the destructive order and disorder, which are not aligned to love consciousness. But creative order and disorder are aligned to love consciousness. So even in disorder, there is creation, if that makes sense. So your abundant creativity, your creative energy, is constantly flowing. It doesn't stop, because we know energy never stops. It only ever changes and morphs. It never, ever, it's never still. So it's always flowing in and out. Always. 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 It's expansive. And in our natural, in our true state, it would look like miracles. I will also share, there's it's an ebook. You can't actually buy the book, but it's an ebook called The Enlightenment. I don't know if any of you ever read it. It tells you everything in there. It's like a precursor to the Celestine Prophecy. It is phenomenal. And one of those books that is a mystery. It's like no one knows who wrote it. Someone did write it because they put the name to it, but that person, I'm not going to tell you, but there's mystery around it. There's magic around it, which is really interesting. So yeah, our natural state, our true state, is this flow state. We are the flow. We don't get in the flow. We are the flow. That's big. That's huge. So yeah, as this energy comes back on the wave, it brings back with it the gifts of the frequency that you put out. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Which, whatever those gifts are, you can keep them or give them or spend them or recirculate them with that intention, which, if you are aligned to love consciousness, is kind of just your natural state anyway, of joy. So it's, I don't know, this feels big. I don't know if it feels that way to you, but I got very excited about this, which is why I made this. I made the video for it. I'm going to put it up on SoundCloud as well, because it just feels like we're on the edge of something here, and it feels like this is a leap, if you like. Now, was that all I wanted to say? I think that's all the notes I had on the breakdown of it. So I'm going to read it one more time from start to finish. And then if anyone has any questions, we can get into it. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Oh, I am recording it on there, though, I think. Oh, let me just... Oh, what's going on? Hang on. Okay. I'm recording it on there. That's right. Okay. I am an ambassador of the void. I am we. We revoke our consent to you exist here, remnants of the den realms. Your jurisdiction is cancelled. Leave now. We are an ascended body in the inner and outer worlds. Everything unfolds perfectly with zero resistance because we are reverence. We are the happy-go-lucky flow of pure love, consciousness, energy abundance. We are creators, circulating this energy in and out. Energy expanding with love consciousness, our expansive, miraculous lifestyle, which we love, using the tools received in the expanding, circulating energy. These tools we keep, give, spend, and circulate joyfully. So, does anyone have any questions or anything that they'd like to share? As I said, the words, because sometimes the words themselves can bring stuff up.
I'll just jump on and just you did forget to start the recording, but I realised about 8 minutes in, so I started it.
Thank you, Andy. I am actually recording it on my Telegram channel, but that's great. Thank you.
Right, got you.
Oh God, I'm so excited about sharing this. I forgot to press record. There you go.
Hi there, Angie. Shalina.
Hi, Shalina.
That was lovely. I love what you said at the beginning about removing what's no longer wanted on this realm, in this realm.
Yes.
Because I was part of that as well. I realized what you did in 2020. I was doing something like that as well.
Wow. Oh my God, goosebumps. Goosebumps.
I know. When you said it, I couldn't believe it, because this is why everything looks so blurred at the moment. So yeah, we just started to put it out there that we did do some stuff in 2020.
I know. I think taking responsibility for that is very powerful.
Yeah, it's nice to know that there's a group, there's like a whole bunch of us that are doing the same thing we don't even realize.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Does anyone have anything else? Any questions or anything that they experienced when I was talking about it or saying it, the declaration?
Hi, Andy. It's Val.
Hello.
Hello. Well, when you were reading just now,
Yeah.
I was actually multitasking. So I was listening and doing something else, and I kept thinking, I've got a spider in my hair. There was something crawling across my scalp, and I couldn't get rid of it. And in the end, I got up and looked in the mirror, and there was nothing visible. So that was a little bit odd.
That's an activation.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that. It feels like something's gently pulling my hair.
It felt more like it felt a bit like a spider, but it would have had to be a really big spider because it was kind of moving my hair a bit. Not
Wow.
like I would pull it, but it was definitely, I can still feel like, I was going to say remnants of it. I can still feel remnants of it now. It's weird. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. And also just a bit of a devil's advocate thing, really, because you were talking about changing the I to the we, and I think I kind of get what you were saying. But if we're all one consciousness, in a way, we're I and we.
Yeah.
So I'm literally just playing devil's advocate there, but it just sort of popped in my head when you were talking about it the other day, and I thought, but we're both really.
Yeah.
We're both.
Yeah,
So,
we are, but
yeah.
I think it is important. It's part of that journey of self-realization to realize that we're so much bigger.
And just yes.
And I think that there's, I don't know, from all the things that we've looked at, it's like there's an overemphasis on this I am.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just, how about entertaining the we a little bit? Because a lot of affirmations and all those sorts of things always focus on the I am.
Right.
They don't. It's like they're not seeing the bigger picture. So there's a big picture, but there's the big picture. Yeah, you're right. It's both. Which is why I say I am we.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as a powerful we, oh my God, can you imagine if we had a not a Zoom call, but you know what I mean? If we had a conference of all of us who realized, I mean, that would be very powerful, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was.
That would be, there would be no more remnants at all, and we'd be in Shangri-La, actually.
I think we were saying this the other day, weren't we, about something else? It's like if a whole bunch of us got together and did one, I was talking about my experience in the sea, but if a whole bunch concentrated on something, I mean, it's been shown, hasn't it, when they've got a massive amount of people meditating in different places around the world, how it can change people's behavior, how it can change vibration and stuff. So
absolutely.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Would anyone else like to share or ask any questions?
Yeah, I'll come in. I was just having my dinner.
Hi, Dolly.
That's why I didn't come in before.
That's all right.
Hi, you're right. From my perspective, I think I am is the consciousness. It's the we. So I think I am is the we. From my perspective.
Yeah.
And like the other lady was just talking about, like doing things as a collective. Hang on, I've just been outside. It's so on a daily basis, and I've said this for years, if everybody was to do this on a daily basis. So I've got a massive rose quartz heart that I put on my heart, and I send love, light and happiness to all my neighbours, to all my family, to all my friends, to everybody in my area, everybody in this country, right across the globe and up. Yeah. If we were all to start doing that, and I'm like a broken record in the respect of, and don't focus on the doom and gloom. What the world would change overnight.
Yeah.
Literally, But I do believe that I am is a we.
Yeah.
It's
I am we.
It's yeah, I am we. I've never heard that before, but yeah, it's a really good one. So thank you. I've enjoyed your show again tonight, as always. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dolly. Would anyone else like to? Someone must have a question, unless I make complete and utter sense. We should make a change.
You make complete and utter sense. One of the things that was sort of resonating whilst listening to you speaking, Angie, was some of the things that you were talking about. I recall hearing from David Icke from his 2012 Wembley appearance when he did his marathon 10-hour session, or I think that was his second one.
Yeah.
And then he did about 2 more in subsequent years afterwards. But that was the big one. That was like the biggie.
Oh, right.
And he was referring to the same entities that you was referring to by calling them remnants, but I think he referred to them as the archons. Yeah,
people have all sorts of different names for them, but essentially they're creatures who didn't belong here in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah. And they feed on, like Dolly just said, the doom and the gloom.
Absolutely.
They feed on negative energy. They feed on fear. They feed on human beings, literally like a straw in the brain, and they're sucking out the energy from them. Ugh. But they have to be in a state of fear to be able to do that. They have to be vibrating in that field of energy that is a state of fear. So by not living in fear of any kind, by default, you banish them. They're gone. They don't enter into your life.
Absolutely.
But there's still millions and billions of folk out there that are living in perpetual fear, whether it's through religious cults, whatever it might be, political, or sexual. They're in a state of constant fear, so it perpetuates itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we've come to an impasse there.
No, it is really fascinating how just, unplugging your attention from, watching whatever it is that is, projecting that doom and gloom, it's just not in your realm anymore.
Exactly.
There's the magic. That's the magic right there. And it, I don't know, why don't people do that more?
Well, unfortunately, the vast majority of folk are distracted by many various things.
And
again, that's where entertainment comes in, media comes in, politics, news, all the rest of it. It's all there as a distraction.
Absolutely.
Distracts you away from the truth. And as long as we've got your attention focused over here, you won't notice what we're doing over there.
Absolutely. I mean, did anyone feel like this is something, I don't want to say, is this something big, or am I just getting excited over nothing? Or, because sometimes when we're going about what we do, I think people must think I'm fucking crazy. Because we don't speak the same language, do we, as some of these people out there? We just don't. It's a completely different language.
You can get into a sort of paranoid state because you think you're the only one, because everyone else you speak to doesn't think like you or doesn't understand what you're saying.
Absolutely.
And then you do find somebody, and
then you go on holistic radio, and you think, oh my god.
Well, there it is. That's the hub. That's what holistic radio is primarily about. It's for like-minded to of light,
Absolutely.
as it were. Yeah, 2 fingers to the doom and the gloom.
Yeah, that's a very old, very English signage. I'm sure you know the story of that with the archers.
Yes.
Not the not those archers.
No, the original archers.
The original archers.
Yeah, they used to. The French army or whatever they were used to cut the fingers off.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Of captured prisoners.
Yes.
So that they couldn't fire arrows. Yeah. So as a signal to say, yeah, look, I've still got my 2 fingers to the ball. They used to wave them in the air.
Yeah.
How the Germanic term that became associated with it, I don't know. But yeah, the 2 finger thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you flick around, it then becomes a symbol of peace, personified, favoured by Winston Churchill.
Yeah. That bloke, goodness me. Anybody else have anything they'd like to say, or questions, or no?
Deathly silence.
Wow. I am an ambassador of the void. No? My goodness. No, stony silence.
So what have you got planned for your next show, Andrew? Have you got any ideas yet, or are you going to leave that till nearer the time?
Well, I might do what I was going to do. What I was originally going to do today, which completely asked about face and changed. Was going to be around protection in magic work. So I think I'll probably do that one actually, because, and again, it's quite pertinent with everything that's been going on this week, which was very bizarre and strange. We did a ritual on Tuesday, which was to do with Mars. So I think I'll probably do a talk on different ways, not just in ritual, but things that you can make, that you can carry, if you feel. And sometimes, I'll be quite honest, sometimes you need to put these things up or take them out with you and wear them or whatever. Because I don't know what is going on out there, but it's a bit bonkers. The remnants are running wild.
I'll tell you what I've just started watching for my afternoon pleasures. Is a TV series called Merlin. Have you ever seen it?
Oh, I love that show. It's brilliant. I tell you, I'm so inspired to learn Old English. I've learned one word so far. Mona is moon.
All right.
Yeah. So what one to make out so far?
It's the one with what's it called?
I don't believe it.
Yes, that one. It's difficult to watch him acting at something completely different to that and not think that.
Yeah. It's really good though.
He's in it.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Yeah, I love that show. There is actually as well, I discovered, I think it's a film which has got the same actors in it, but they kind of took the story a little bit further.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm not going to tell you how it ends, but it needed.
Right.
Everyone wanted a little bit more, so they've done that in a film.
Ah, right. Have you ever seen that TV show called True Blood?
Oh God, yeah, years ago. That was very weird.
It was very strange, wasn't it? But it was very sort of. There was a lot. I think there was a lot of hidden messages in it, and along with the you know, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer that Richard Head was in as well, who was like the English librarian.
Yes.
Again, I think there were lots of subtle, subliminal sort of, hang on, they're putting things out there that wouldn't normally have got out in a way that would be found, you know, oh, it's just entertainment. We'll let that pass.
But it's a similar thing with sci-fi, I think. Slightly different, but there's an idea that sci-fi is used to actually tell you the truth about who you are. That's why I love sci-fi so much.
You would not believe some of the things that are true that have come out of things like Stargate, Star Trek.
Yeah.
And obviously the X-Files, which is just an absolute
oh my God.
Truth.
Well, recent X-Files series, they had stuff in there. One of them was to do with cabs that drove themselves, and you had to give feedback. Now, isn't that what Uber does? They don't drive themselves, but you give feedback, don't you?
Yeah.
But you give feedback, don't you? I think on Uber.
Yeah.
And if you give negative feedback, the car will run you over. It's like, whoa. I'm not looking forward to that.
Get a bicycle.
I'll walk, thank you very much. Shanks's pony all the way.
Oh, is that Val?
Oh no.
I'm to say good night because I have a call to go on at 7, so I'm going to love you and leave you. And thank you again, everybody, for an interesting evening. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Val.
Thanks, Val.
Oh, you take care, everyone. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
We got 6 minutes left. If anyone has anything they want to say.
Yeah, we've got Sarah and Dolly still on. So if either of Dolly or Sarah wants to jump in for a couple of minutes or so. Well, actually, there's the new show that's starting isn't until 8, so we've got an hour from 7 till 8. So I thought I was just going to do an after show chat anyway.
I've actually got a ritual at 7:30 that we're doing tonight because it's a
on YouTube
dark supermoon portal energy tonight.
Right.
So it's a big one.
So, you know, you said at the beginning of the show this evening, you said, are we streaming to all platforms?
I stream too, so I stream this. So on Holistic Radio, I'm on my phone, and then on my laptop, I stream to my Telegram group, YouTube. I've got two YouTube channels I'm streaming to. Telegram channel, Facebook. Oh no, three YouTube channels I'm streaming to. Telegram and my Facebook page. My Facebook profile.
Got you.
Yeah. It's really cool, actually. I love this technology. It's an amazing tool. It really is.
Well, you hit the nail on the head there by using the reference or term as tool, because it's a tool. And,
absolutely.
You know, a hammer can be used to nail a nail into a piece of wood to build a house, or a hammer can be used to go and bash someone over the head with.
Absolutely.
So it all depends on what you use the tool for. And if you use a tool or if you use technology for good, then that's good. That's a good thing.
I agree. I concur.
We are Borg.
Yeah. The thing about the Borg, is they didn't actually want to be Borg. They were taken and made Borg, under duress. So, they weren't volunteering, lining up, signing on the dotted line.
But I think as a metaphor, I think what they represented in the show itself and into a wider sort of perspective was basically as a collective and being controlled as drones, what the vast majority of people are.
Yeah.
Through, you know, other means, whatever that might be. But yeah, it was a very strong metaphor for that. Very, very much so.
Yeah, very. And the whole idea of if you broke out of that programming,
Yeah.
Wow, you know.
You would be reassimilated.
Although there was a storyline in, I think it was Voyager, where there was an actual collection of, not collective, a collection of ex-Borg who were
Yes, there was.
meeting up in cyberspace, which is an interesting kind of story.
So they left the main collective, but then found each other and started their own.
Yeah, as not Borg, which is really. Yeah. So we are. Sorry, I am we. We are not Borg.
Yeah. And for anybody listening that has never seen Star Trek,
shame on
The
you.
Next Generation,
That's what I say.
You'll never know what we're
Go and
talking
watch it now. Because honestly, there is so much stuff about Ascension in Star Trek. Gene Roddenberry channeled that whole thing. It's amazing. Completely amazing.
And it's same with Stargate as well. Stargate TV series.
Yeah.
Once they got it off the ground, because there was a lot of legal loopholes that they had to jump through to get the French authorities to release the copyright or something for it.
Yeah, I wonder why that wasn't. Are they doing that stuff? Probably, yes. Oh my God. Mad.
Some of the, I mean, like the thing with the Goa'uld, where it's this little sort of wormy thing that burrows itself into a human host and then controls the human host at will, or just leaves it to carry on doing its thing until it needs it. And you think to yourself, yeah, that's a massive play there that could quite easily be happening already and has been, and that's how it's all done.
Absolutely. And that's not just in Star Trek. Farscape has a very similar. I don't know if you've ever seen Farscape.
Farscape does. Yeah.
Farscape is immense for me.
It is.
There is so much in there, and luckily, so I've been wanting the whole set for I don't know how long since I first saw a shot one day. What we got there? The whole set of Farscapes for £20. £20. Amazing.
What's the character called who has the floating chair? Is the king?
Rigel.
Rigel.
Yeah, Rigel.
Yeah. He always reminds me as if you were ever going to make a puppet caricature of Nigel Farage, it would be Rigel.
Yes, but there is a resemblance there. How strange.
There is, isn't there?
Oh dear, that's funny. I'll never be able to watch Farscape in the same light again.
No, as soon as you see that, you'll think, yep, Farage.
Oh dear, that's funny.
And then there was the, did you ever see Lex? L-E-X-X?
I watched a little, it was always on at like silly o'clock in the morning, so I wouldn't catch it that often. Right. I think I might have it on DVD. I think someone burnt me a copy of it once.
Right, that's worth a watch. Very interesting. Bizarre and interesting.
Is it Australian again?
No, I don't. It might be. I don't know. That thought never crossed my mind as to its origins, but it was quite a bizarre series.
Yeah. I vaguely remember the ship looked like a dragonfly or something.
Yeah.
Is that Lex? I think that's Lex, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like it's like a ship that could think, a bit like Farscape.
Yeah, Moya. Yeah. Interesting. Cool. So we've gone from yeah, that's really cool. I love sci-fi. I could talk about sci-fi forever. But if anyone wants to go and check out the it's actually, so what I've done with the video on the YouTube channel, it's can't even say the word. Premiering, is that the right word? Now.
Premiering.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the word. Now, it's 108 repetitions of that declaration. So you can put it on and you can just let it play in the background. I have actually put the words in the description of the video as well. So if you want to, take it away and do that yourself, you can do that as well. So I hope everyone's enjoyed the new declaration. Yeah. I'm quite surprised no one had any questions. So, like you say, Andy, I must have made absolute complete sense. I love it.
Yeah, you're preaching to the converted. We're already there. We're here.
Cool. Love it.
Right. Do you want me to stop the recording at this end?
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can do that here, can I? I'm not sure.
Well, you probably could, but I'll do it anyway. If you want to say a few final words
of inspiration.
Yeah.
So next week I'm going to be talking about protection and magic. So different types of ritual you can do for protection, talisman you can make for protection, whether or not you even need protection, from the remnants out there. So that's at 6 o'clock next week, next Thursday, in fact. Da-da-da.
And I've stopped it. Right,
Cool.
There we go. Done.
Excellent. I'm really surprised no one had, I'm blown away. No one had any questions. So that's kind of good. I like it.
So did anyone not have questions on your other Telegram channel that you was broadcasting to?
Not that I can see, no.
Right.
There's nothing coming up in the chat.
Just going to change the show chat title to, what can I call it? Then the show chat. There, that'll do. I'm going to go and find Eli to do a sound check for it before we start his show at 8
cool.
o'clock.
That's at 8 o'clock, yeah?
Yeah. Let's see if we can get him on.
Cool.
I'll just message him now. So are you going to go and...
Yeah, I'm going to go and...
at 7:30 on your YouTube channel?
No, it's not it's an open circle, but I don't tend to do ritual live on YouTube anymore, only because I used to get trolled to death.
Oh.
It was horrendous. So I tend to just record them and then upload them.
Right, got you. Fair enough.
Yeah.
What I'm looking for is, you might be able to help me with this, is I'm looking for somewhere to store audio files.
Yeah.
That I can then link to from a website with a web link. So, if someone wanted to press a button and listen to that audio file.
Yeah.
Have you any ideas of where I could find a storage repository for free, where I could store or upload these audio files and then have an individual link to each file, so that I could say, right, if you want to listen to this one, press this button. If you want to listen to that one, press that button, and it would take you to that file that's stored somewhere else.
I use, because I have Gmail, I use Google Drive. I think you get something like 50 gig of space for free, and I think after that it's about £1.60 a month to double the storage space.
But can anybody listen to it, whatever you've got on there?
Yeah. What you can do, you can either restrict it to people. You put their email in, and then they have access to it, or you can do it so anyone that has the link can listen to it and download it. I really like Google Drive. I've been using it for donkey's years. It's really, really good. So if you've got a Gmail account, yeah. So if you do Google in your search engine and sign into your Gmail, you know that it's got the little dots next to your icon.
Yeah, I'm aware of Google Drive. I just wasn't aware that members of the public, if you gave them a link, could go and listen to whatever was on your drive.
Yeah, you have
to. It was
to.
A personal drive.
No, they can only see the link that you give them. So if it's it could be a folder, or it could be a single file.
Right.
But if you you have to set the permissions, and I tend to set the permissions or the shareability, if you like, for each thing. I think you can do them as a group, but you can do them separately as well.
Yeah. I'll have a play around with that then. That's
it's under the share. So if you
50 gig will be more than enough for what I need.
Yeah.
So right. That will be next week's mini project then. I will be delving into the realms of flipping Google with its drive.
I think Google Drive's amazing. You know, and you can put them in different folders, so different topics. You know, you put in different folders, which is really, I really like that.
All right. So if, say, for example, I sent you, if I had a bunch of files, audio files on my Google Drive, and I had it sectioned into section 1, section 2, section 3, I could send you, Angie, a link that would give you access to everything in all 3 folders. So if there was 20 audio files in one, 10 audio files in another, and 3 audio files, you would then have access to all of them and listen to them whenever you wanted to.
Yeah, if they were in 3 different folders, you'd send me the link to each folder.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Not one to cover all 3 then.
I think then you would be giving people the access to your whole Google Drive, which I would not recommend.
So what if it was one folder with 3 folders inside it?
Yes, you could do that.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Then I'm definitely going to play around with that.
Cool.
Thanks a lot for that.
That's all right.
Right, Eli's joined us now. Eli's with us. We're just having a bit of an after-show chat from Angie's show, Eli. So I'm glad you've jumped on and we can do a bit of a sound check before you start your brand new show at 8 o'clock.
Cool.
You can unmute yourself now if you want and say hi.
I'm going to disappear.
Yeah, you go and get yourself sorted for your next thing, Angie.
All right. Cheers, Andy.
Thanks a lot.
If you need any help with Google Drive, just give us a shout.
Will do. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi.